Heroes of Greyhawk is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language and explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned.
Last time on the Outlaws of Greyhawk, the gang went their separate ways before meeting back at the Rusty Anchor. Melantha delivered a death notice to Vargas's brother. In her own twisted way, Melantha proffered her condolences and a bit of advice that one ought not to hold too tightly to the sadness and anger of loss, lest it curdle to hatred and vengeance, fueling unspeakable acts like it done for her. Brother Portis returned to his Spartan dormitory at the Temple of Procan and sought guidance from the High Priest, Father Edmund Lannister, asking about the mysterious verse that he had recovered on the parchment. Lannister offered a guess that it spoke of an old fane near Gull Keep. Portis asked about Magnus Crane, and although not much could be gleaned from the old priest, Portis learned that Crane was a businessman of sorts who'd done a great deal of commerce through Crockport, or so it seemed, though difficult to remember details about this individual and when perhaps this individual did these types of business dealings. Father Lannister warned Portis to be wary of greed and gave Portis a map of Wyestill Lake's southern coast, bidding him the blessings of Procan. Upon leaving, Brother Andreas accosted Portis, prying into his business, going so far as to accuse Portis of acting suspicious, dereliction of duties, keeping company with known criminal types and such. Well, that didn't settle too well with Portis, and he done threw that clergyman from the tower into the dark waters and crashed in surf. Grukka, for his part, set out for Master Adon's smithy, hoping to maybe come to terms with what had happened to his father/master. Well, he found the smithy, found it replaced. A new smithy erected in its place. He watched for a while before a man intoxicated walked from the smithy. Then he snapped. Darkness taking hold in a fit of uncontrolled rage, Grukka split the man's skull, killed him dead. Seeing what he'd done, he raced off into the darkness, but not before being spotted as townsfolk flooded into the street and the cries of the smith's wife echoed in the night. Philiomena, in disguise, returned to her childhood home, reclaiming a sketch of herself and her mother along with a silk scarf of some significance. Her sorrow was interrupted by a kindly neighborhood elder who'd been keeping an eye on the place. Philiomena gave the woman a bit of coin, more than a bit, for repairs and continued stewardship of the hovel, and made her way to a nearby pauper cemetery where her mother's body had been laid to rest. With tears rolling down her cheeks, Philiomena spoke with regret and anger, an apology on her lips, but interrupted by the power of anger in a sympathetic voice, reminding her of the vengeance owed to her nemesis, Governess Irana Valraith. With a renewed purpose, Philiomena bid farewell to her mother and joined her companions at the Rusty Anchor. Now, back at the Rusty Anchor, the gang agreed it was high time to skip town. But then Portis' contact, Carver, appeared, warned Portis of danger ahead, saying Portis should have left that cursed scroll alone, never should have read it. Portis slipped out the side door just as a brute of a wretched steel enforcer stepped into the street. Yeah. Zakar Cragtooth. An orc meaner than sin. Come to settle an old score with Grukka and administer a bit of street justice for Portis' prying eyes. And so began a deadly showdown in Crockport. Now, if you're there to see it, you'll likely remember the brutality of it all, and even if you weren't, well, you could probably guess the outcome. In the end, Melantha dealt Zakar the killing blow, scratching out another name in her book of death. But it was too late for Grukka, whose head was severed clear off his body as Crockport's night watchmen swarmed into the alleyway. The party scattered, what was left of them anyhow, forced to leave Grukka behind, fugitives once more. Now, my friends, is where we are going to return to the story. Each of you along your own path, perhaps. Each of you taking a different route, but with a similar destination in mind, the stables where you had boarded your horses where you had identified as a fallback in case things went awry, and well, guess what? They done did. So as we join back up, you are all sort of arriving back at the stables. The horses are there, each of you sweating, maybe injured. My friends, at this point, as you all sort of convene on this location, what would you like to do?
I think Philomena is the first to get there as she left before the others did. And she is panting or hyperventilating, but either way is out of breath and is next to the stall of her horse, just kind of like hands gripping the fence, head down, trying to catch her breath and process everything that just happened. And I don't know which of you would approach first.
I think it's me, right? Because I was on that side of the square and I was heading towards that direction and I knew directly forthwith. I come running up, holding my side. I'm bleeding profusely. Quickly open the doors. We have to go immediately.
Right. Where's Mel? Where's Grukka?
At this moment, Mel will come up, running, panting, out of breath, going, shit. Grukka's dead. We need to go now.
You hear the sound of the bells clanging, the klaxons of the town's alarm. Just ding, 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 ding,
We'll
ding,
explain on the
ding.
way. Quickly.
We can explain while we ride.
As you all come into the stables and the horses kind of get agitated, you look down and you can see that there's a young boy, the stable boy, and he just kind of looks up at you. Your horses, and he starts getting things ready.
Yes, please.
Mel reaches in her pocket, grabs a gold, gives it to the boy, and says, "We were never here."
I swear, I won't tell nobody that I saw nothing.
I'll hand him the gold as well. Make sure of it.
Yes, sir.
You don't want to see us again.
And those were for you. This is for the horses, and I'll hand him another gold.
Yes. As you guys are saddling the horses, getting your gear on it, you're getting the bridles squared away. The boy is trying to help as best you can. You hear voices approaching, 2 male voices as they're talking. Y'all heard what all the hullabaloo's about out there? Yeah, well, I heard the Night Watch are converging down on the wretched steel. Yeah, that's right. About time they got what was theirs. Yeah, well, ain't nothing. There's more to fill 'em, just like shark's teeth. You knock one out, another one comes into its place. That's how it goes with these gangs. Yeah, well, I bet you didn't know. I heard the Merchants Guild hired the Night Watch to take 'em down for some reason. You think that's true? I don't know. I don't know much about politics. I don't know nothing. All I know is, hey, you got any tobacco? And then they just kind of walk off.
Philomena's fists clench at the mention of the Merchants Guild, and she'll hop on Dodie and just start going.
Yeah, we'll be right behind her on Phalon.
Her face melds, kind of flickering from Bonnie Hart to Grukka, and then back to a just random woman, an ordinary random woman with blonde hair and freckles.
Nice.
As she starts to take off.
And thank you to Penborough for donating an advantage to myself. Thank you so much. I will use it responsibly.
Wrong person.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. So you saddle up your horses. You ride out. The boy's kind of standing there as you all leave, and he's kind of looking at the gold coins in his hand, and he's just got this big old smile on his face as he puts the coins in there and disappears back into the darkness of the stable.
I think it should be mentioned that Anvil is an ass, and so I'm like
a little bit slower than the others.
As quickly as I can.
Yeah, oh my God.
I'm saying leg of lamb, chops. I don't remember exactly what Grukka told me I should say to this beast to make it go.
Ham hock. So Philomena and Mel are racing out of the stables, you know, as you just think of this dark night with this bell ringing and night watchmen sort of swarming around the streets to some extent, and people kind of coming out of their homes to see what's going on, people coming out of the taverns, and these two horses just race out of this barn into the night, and then you see Portis just clip clapping away down the cobblestone street. Why don't you guys each give me a D20 roll?
Also, I won't follow them directly. I'm going to peel off to the right as if I'm not actually following them at all, because I'm just trotting along, you know.
Absolutely.
I'll go around.
And it would be safe to say you've spent enough time in this town where you know like where the road east is out of town. So it'd be easy for you to sort of double back, have a plan to meet up at like, you know, one of the shrines along the roadway or something. You know, there's plenty of markers where you could meet up if you got split. So what did you guys roll for your D20s?
Got a 17. 17,
okay. You got a 1?
Got a 1.
Philomena got a 1. How about Portis?
14.
Okay. It was on my patron dice too.
Oh, perfect. All right. So as you're riding out, I will say this, Philomena, you see some individuals that you recognize as you're riding past. Now you're in disguise, correct?
Yes.
You'd said that you put on a disguise. So as you're riding out, you ride past this group of people, and all these people are kind of like gathered in the streets in small groups talking as the bells are still ringing. There's still something happening. And as you look down, you can see that there are members of the Night Watch, and there are 2 or 3 members of the Merchants Guild that you recognize. They don't see you as you're riding past, but you see them, and you sort of like maybe pull your cloak a little bit tighter as you ride past them. But with that said, you make it off into the dark night, riding through town. As you get away from the wharf district, it starts to sort of the chaos and the tension sort of is left behind to some extent as the clanging of the bell fades and the cool air of the night kind of gives you a chill down your spine. None of you are necessarily had a whole lot of time to prepare to gather supplies for this journey, but you're riding out of town into the wilds to the east of Crockport. And it's nighttime right now. So how do you want to ride through the night, or what are you guys thinking for this?
I think at some point, once we are a bit out, she's going to start to slow down, hop off her horse, go to the side and throw up.
We need to rest.
Fair.
There's no if, ands, or, buts. We need to we need to calm down. We need to figure out like what just happened and what we're going to do.
I will come up bringing up the rear, and grateful that they had to stop for a moment to express the angst. But I'm also going to cure wounds upon myself because I'm rather injured.
Mm.
Yeah, Mel's gonna take a
You're gonna use some magic to heal yourself. Please do that. You can. My guess, and maybe you can tell me, do any of you have experience like riding the countryside to the east of Crockport? Would any of you have journeyed in that direction? Would you know the landscape, I guess, is the question. And if you want to, you could roll a survival check to make that decision, or you can just tell me. It's up to you.
I'll roll to make that decision.
Okay.
I'd like to assist since I do have a map.
You do have a map. That's true.
So if I may assist.
18?
Okay. So it's likely that you know the area to some extent. You do have Portis's map, which is extremely handy. Although, it may not be to scale, and it's hand drawn, of course, all of that by an old priest of Procan, but nevertheless, you have that. Did anybody else want to roll survival? No? Okay.
I believe I assisted, so I won't roll.
Okay, so it's likely that Portis hasn't really traveled the wilds to the east, maybe. Probably having come up from Chendal and some of the larger cities to the south as you sort of made your migration to this sort of hotbed of intrigue and villainy, this area where there is this overwhelming threat of war breaking out amongst the people of this region, a place where fortunes can be made and favors can be had, and well, dealings can be made with people who are willing to make deals. There's a lot of opportunity in a place like this. So you ride out, you find with the knowledge of Philiomena, the map, you are able to find a place to bed down for the rest of the night, should you want to do that.
I shall use my disguise kit to change my appearance. I'm going to change myself into the appearance of a youth. I will keep my size, my bulk, therefore, to incorporate my armor and whatnot. Continue to give the illusion of heft to my frame. But I will be considerably younger even than I am, say a late teen, and a shepherd.
Very nice. Very fitting for this region as well.
And so I'm working on my. This has been a very difficult day. I have to admit. It was unfortunate what happened there in the city, and I don't. Could somebody please hold the looking glass by the firelight? I can't see very well. I don't know.
Yeah. Her hands are trembling as she is holding it.
I do appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Yes, it's very unfortunate what befell Grukka. What befell all of us.
Yeah, Mel's kind of like standing off beside her horse, beside Phalar. Basically, she's got her arms crossed, kind of doing a little bit of walking back and forth, pacing, saying, "How the fuck did this happen? How did we get surrounded? I don't understand how this happened." Like panicking just a little bit because it was too close of a call. We've already lost one.
I fix false teeth so that it gives me a bit of a large tooth appearance. And I say, well, I don't imagine that it was anyone that we could have known. I just think it was a bit of bad luck and something that Grukka probably brought upon himself.
The only good thing that came out of that is that I got to mark someone off in my book. That is it. Everything else was a complete just shit show.
I'm going to take that as good news myself.
I hope he's happier. I hope he has more peace wherever he is now than he did. Clearly, he was very troubled.
All I know is we need to be more careful. Because I have a goal that I need to meet. I have something that I need to do. And I'm not dying before I do that.
It wasn't us that was uncareful. Trust me, I got shit I gotta do too.
I can't even go back over there to work now. I don't know what the old man's going to do.
So what do we do from here?
Why?
Well, I mean, maybe I can in a little while, but I'm not going to go back there anytime soon with all the stuff that went on. And, you know, Grukka had that ring on his finger. Wait a minute. I think, do I remember right? Did I get that ring away?
I don't think so.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
He
It's
took
died
it
with
off
it.
and put it in his bag.
Yeah.
It's going to point right back to the church. And so I can't be seen around there because rumor has it that the other clergyman of the church is also leaving tonight and won't be seen. It's just going to be the father himself.
Well, Pro can have mercy on him, I suppose.
Yeah, Pro can. I think we should get on to Gull Keep, figure out exactly what connection it has to Crane, where the shipment might be going, and some things like that. I've got some good authority that there's some interesting stuff on over there.
So we're going to stay here, rest up, and, you know, and we'll, early morning before light.
Yeah, I think that's probably wise. Try to get there about the same time as that boat, if we can.
I'll take first watch.
If that's the case, we might have to ride through the night at some point. Depending on where the wind's blowing, boat's probably faster.
Well, it ain't left yet, I don't think.
All right.
Right, my friends. So
Are
you
guys...
go ahead.
Sorry. Are you guys okay?
I'm fucking perfect. Like, I don't understand how we got ourselves into this situation. I mean, yeah, we're outlaws, but you would think that we would be more careful.
I thought we were. I mean, I didn't think that there was anything that we had done that would have necessarily exposed us to any sort of, well, there was a lot of stuff involved in that shipment and a lot of high profile interested people that were concerned about what was going on with it. So I imagine there was a lot of eyes on it.
So we can expect there's still to be a lot of eyes everywhere we go.
I mean, that's sort of how I live. You were the only one that's really taken me by surprise in a good year.
I would also mention that I think the main reason that force was there was for Grukka. It seems he before had killed a man and now had killed another that were innocent.
I'll say that I think that had a big part to do with it, and I'm counting on that being the majority of the issue that might mitigate any sort of tail that we might otherwise pick up. But I'm feeling pretty confident now. And to answer your question, now that we're out of that mess and that I've applied some healing salve to my body, I feel pretty good.
Can I insight that? Does he
Oh, what?
actually feel pretty good after everything that just fucking happened?
You certainly can.
That's my
and
second natural
Ty,
one of this
well, yeah.
session.
Ty, you can kind of dictate kind of what she sees or intuits, but it's probably limited because of the role she had.
It definitely limited. I do think that you're getting to know Portis well enough to know that there's always a question about where he falls in terms of comfort and being okay, but you're really not getting a beat on him because he doesn't look like himself and he doesn't sound like himself right now. And so I think that's throwing you off a little bit too.
I don't know if you all saw what happened earlier. You know I can do things like disguising myself. But I don't that's not that's all rather new to me. Fire coming from my hands. So just putting that out there. That's that, I guess.
Now,
Sounds
Philomena,
badass.
it pretty much is. We've had a little bit of conversation about some of that. Is there anything you want to tell us to just sort of lighten your load as we sit out here in the dark, just the three of us?
Not really. No, not tonight. At the very least, I am tired. I am shaken. I am not having a good time. I guess I was just throwing it out there in case you all had questions that I could just.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this right here while I'm thinking about it. Let me think about it now real clear. Are you all right?
No.
All right. Why don't you get some rest? Just go ahead and get some rest.
Yeah.
Just know,
Yes,
the more you get into these situations, that feeling will be less and less profound. It gets easier.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know if I wanted to. But that's a conversation that I need to have with myself. So I'm gonna lay down over here next to my horse and go to sleep.
Well, Melantha, thanks for taking the first watch then. And I suppose At some point in a while, if you need a break, you can wake me up. Maybe we should let Philomena have some rest right now.
I can watch as well. We should have equal. Everyone needs rest.
Well,
I'll
if
take
you're
first.
feeling up, yeah,
I'll
all
take
right.
first watch, however long. I don't care. In an hour, I'll wake whoever up.
Okay. So first of all, thank you to ScottishJeff for the donation to our fundraising effort. You guys,
Yes, thank you.
we're making some progress. So let's get there. Thanks for doing that. Ty, you have an
Thanks,
advantage
Jeff.
from Jeff.
Awesome.
All right. So
We miss you, Jeff.
go ahead, Coco. Why don't you go ahead and give me a D12 roll?
3.
Okay. This first night, I mean, it's probably the middle of the night, at least, by the time that you guys get out of town. You can kind of see in the distance, as you sort of gain some elevation, as you head east along the southern shore of Wyestill Lake, you can see back to the west. You can see just maybe the faint glow of Crockport, but you're far enough away and in an area that Philomena knows at least somewhat well to find a good place to camp. And the night goes relatively uneventful. The rest of the night, you are able to, if you want to take a full 8-hour long rest, you can, but it will eat into the day tomorrow. If you could also take a short rest and then press on and try to, because you're trying to also potentially make pace with that boat. It sounded like, at least at some level.
I don't think Philomena is going to be able to long rest of how restless she is. So I'm okay with short resting.
All I need to do is do a trance for 4 hours and I'm good.
But I know we got a cleric in the party, and sadly their spells don't work the way that Warlock spells do.
Right. It is a bit of an exchange that we have to consider. I'm fairly well topped out on the divine light, if you know what I mean. But we don't.
That would be nice to have.
It would be nice. We don't really know what we're getting into when we get there.
We either risk time now or risk time later.
That's a good way of looking at it. What do you think, Melantha?
Best is the rest, no matter how long we take. All I know is we need to catch that ship. Period.
Then let's sleep now and not sleep later.
So I'll climb up into the closest tree and sit on a branch and just keep a vigil about and about.
Okay,
So
yeah.
Are we staying here for a long rest or a short rest?
Long rest.
All right.
All right. The morning comes, the night uneventful. You are able to gather yourselves and get the semblance of a rest. Long rest would apply here. You spend the morning in camp, perhaps, tending to the horses who you rode hard out of Crockport the night before. It's a cold morning. There's a dampness to it, as if maybe there's a storm coming. Some of the dew on the grasses in this sort of grassland, this rolling grassland, is kind of frozen and kind of forms a sort of a hoarfrost on the blades of tall grass as you kind of walk around the camp. It's a little bit of a crunch beneath your feet, but the fire kind of gives off a nice warmth as you make your food or whatever it is you do that morning as you're resting. You don't have to necessarily be sleeping; you just have to be resting, which you do. Later that day, about mid-morning, we'll say, you feel rested enough to press on, and you continue into the countryside. And the road from Crockport, as it goes east, it's kind of like a pale scar that cuts across the landscape, stretching into this sort of rolling grassland, as I described. There's dust that kicks up from the horses' hooves under this pitiless sky, hoofbeats kicking up grit and drift. There's the wind that helps to put a little bit of distance between yourselves and the calamity that you left behind in Crockport. Now, the wind is blowing in your face. And for those of you who might know something about transport on the waters, that may or may not hinder your the ship that might be heading to the same location that you are. In fact, you don't even really know that for a fact, but it's the hunch that you're working on. Nevertheless, to the north of this trail that you're on, Wystall Lake kind of glimmers beyond the low hills. You can almost hear at some points where the road comes close to the shoreline, these waves that are crashing violently against this jagged, rocky coast, mingling with the steady rhythm of the hoofbeats from the horses and your ass. To the south, the rolling grasslands just extend into the distance, swaying in the cool breeze. Overhead, you look up and you can see eagles that dip and wheel, and their shadows kind of skimming across the road occasionally as you continue east. And every now and again, you glance back, your eyes catching the empty trail behind you. And even then, your instinct kind of runs deeper than the moment, like some ancient thing, kind of expecting that there might be a dark line of dust. The Callenstron Rangers riding hard to intercept you. But for now, it's just you and your companions, the rhythm of the hooves. About late afternoon on this first full day of travel, as you're making your way, you can see a kettle of birds kind of swirling around in the air above the road, maybe a mile, 2 miles ahead in the direction that you're headed. Just maybe a dozen or so big birds just circling, rising up on the drafts of warm air as they ascend. May mean something to you, may not.
I have company ahead. Possibly dead.
Probably dead, yeah. By the way, as we approach, should we be seen by anybody or get into approximation of anyone? Please call me Hobbin.
Hobbit?
Hobbin, yeah.
Got it. I can be Harley.
All right. I'll make a note of
Harley and
that.
Hobbit.
You continue on.
Sorry if I don't remember.
Yeah, same here. All right, so you guys continue on, and indeed, as you get closer, you can see that there is a mass of dark feathers and of movement of beaks as they seem to tear at something just off the side of the road, like in a little bit of a drainage that comes off the road. And as you kind of round the bend and come closer, they all kick up very hesitantly, wanting to protect the kill or the food. But these massive vultures take flight and fly up into the air and sort of like start to circle again above you as you approach. You can see that appears as though there's some sort of a dead corpse on the road.
Like a person?
Yeah, as you get closer, you can see indeed that it looks to be some sort of a humanoid person. Their face is buried in the dust. And you can see their back is all torn apart where the vultures were tearing at the body. There's a bag laying off to the side. There's a walking stick that rolled off onto the road up ahead.
I'd like to
hop off her horse and approach.
Yeah, Melantha will get off and, kind of at a normal pace of walk over to the corpse and, kick it and roll it over.
I'm gonna pick up that walking staff just to sort of round out the disguise.
It's a good fit. Melantha, as you roll the body over, eyes wide open, the face partially torn, maybe from small rodents feeding on it over the night, that sort of thing. As it flips over and just kind of stares up in the sky, you can see indeed it's a human man. Looks to have some sort of a wound and you can easily tell with your experience that it is the wound of a bladed weapon across their chest. Looks like they bled out. There's kind of dried, crusty blood on the mixed in with some of the dust and dirt of the roadway.
Can we tell if it's like really bloody, or can we tell if that was like where he died or if he was put there?
Is there a trail?
Give me a medicine check.
Can I assist?
Sure. You can give me a medicine or investigation.
19 on mine for medicine.
Okay, medicine 19. Okay. How about you, Philomena?
I'll roll investigation because I actually have proficiency in that.
Okay.
And that's a 16.
Okay. All right. So between the two of you, as you're examining this body, you can see a couple of things. It looks as though this individual was bled out here, died here. There is a little bit of a blood trail from the road, like coming towards like as if they were traveling in the opposite direction as you were, as if maybe they'd been wounded and took, I don't know, maybe like 10, 15, 20 steps and then fell and died. It doesn't go much beyond 20 paces or so. So you gather that whatever happened here in this place. You also, Philomena, as you're sort of examining the body a little bit from a different perspective, not necessarily like the medicine sort of perspective, but you're investigating, you can see that there is the bulge of a coin purse beneath the cloaks. So if this person there had been highway robbers, for example, or some sort of a mugging kind of situation, either they didn't find the coin or were scared off or something, but it looks like you kind of like peel back the cloak a little bit with like a stick maybe, or the blade of your knife, and you can see that there's a coin purse right there on the side. You also notice that this man, he has these dirty fingernails, calloused hands, as if he's one of the working sorts, maybe from one of the local villages or maybe from Crockport, who knows, but he has this silver band with this small, really delicate, beautiful looking emerald stone in the band.
Didn't you say that there was like a bag, like a little bit off to the body?
There's a bag as well. You want to investigate the bag?
I want to investigate that.
Okay.
Can
you
I
go
take a
over
look around as well, just like our general area, see if anyone's watching.
Absolutely. Give me a perception check. Mel, you go over to the bag and you empty it. You empty the contents onto the dirt, and it looks like it's traveling gear. It's like a small cup. There's some flint and steel. There's a second like a blanket inside. There's a cloak. Looks like some warm weather clothing. Nothing fancy. It looks like commoners' clothing. What's your perception check, Philomena?
That's a natural 20 for a
Nice.
19.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll come back to that in a second.
All right.
Mel, was there something else you wanted to do with that contents of that bag?
Yeah, noticing the contents of the bag and then noticing that he's like a worker type, it doesn't add up. So she's starting to do her like a little investigation, like why was he killed when he doesn't look like he would have anything for them to kill him. They would have taken the ring.
Give me an insight check.
That is a 17.
Okay. I mean, you're no crime scene investigator per se, but we probably should do a CSI of Greyhawk series next.
That'd be so fun.
That would be
awesome.
You are a crime scene instigator.
I mean, that's absolutely 100% true. It doesn't seem that out of the ordinary, Mel. You know that there are highwaymen. There are obviously gangs. There are potentially agents of the Horn Society or IUs that potentially are operating in these areas along the southern shore of Wyestill Lake, especially the closer you get to the Vang River, which you're not close to right now, but you're making your way east. And so it nothing here is really like raising a red flag for you. This guy was probably traveling from point A to point B. He either got himself into something bad, associated with someone who wasn't trustworthy, or he got jumped. And what the thing that does kind of like not make a total sense is that they didn't find this coin purse. And Philomena, as you cut this coin purse off the belt loop of this guy, which I'm assuming you do, there's a fair amount of coin in there. It amounts to about 10 gold pieces, assorted coins. So there's like silver and copper in there, but it's about 10 gold pieces worth.
That is.
Which for some, that could be, it could be like their whole savings, right? Potentially.
I'll hand it to Portis, but I will very gently take the ring off and look at it, see if there's any sort of engraving on the inside.
You don't see any engraving, but it is quite beautiful.
I think she'd kind of hold the very cold, damp hand of the person that died and said, "I'm really sorry that this happened to you. I know you won't be needing this anymore. I will keep it safe." And put it in her bag.
Now, while this is all happening,
oh no.
Portis, remind me what your cover name is right now again.
It's Hobbin.
Hobbin.
Hobbin Reed. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what is Hobbin doing while this is happening?
Well, I was sort of keeping an eye out, and then gladly take the coin purse from Philomena. Thank you, dear. And just watching the road and keeping an eye out while they're doing a bit of investigating. And just leaning on my new staff, my new walking stick.
All right. Give me a perception check, please, Hobbin.
All right.
I'm scared. I don't like
And
the
I
way
guess,
you said it.
And I guess while he's doing that, Mel stands up. She just points down at the stuff on the ground that she dumped out. She goes, "Anybody want any of this junk? He's not gonna need it."
Just about that time's when I
So
get
harsh.
distracted from when I'm looking around, because I only got a 6.
Okay. All right.
I'll take that flint there, flint and steel. You can always have don't want to take for granted the ability to make some fire for warmth.
How about it?
I have an uneasy feeling about all this. I think we should go.
Yeah, I feel like we spent a
Yeah.
little bit too much time here.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough.
I'll take one of the blankets, one of the quilts that he had in his pack, and lay it over him.
As you unroll the blanket, Philomena, you watch as this small silver medallion falls onto the ground.
Oh, I'll pick it up.
You take a look at it. It's not on a cord or on a chain or anything, although it has a loop that would allow you to perhaps wear it around a neck as an ornament. It's about the size of a I don't know, like a daisy flower. It's made of silver and it has a symbol of a lightning bolt on it.
Can I make a religion check just to see if I might recognize that sort of thing?
Yes, you
Isn't that
can.
Procat symbol?
What was your question, Philomena?
Isn't this Procat symbol?
That's an 18. I don't.
No, you know right away that it is the symbol of Hieronius, the Iridian god of justice, honor, war, daring, valor. Hey, what's up, Troll Lord Games? Thank you so much for gifting some subs.
Oh my God!
We appreciate you
Come
very
on in.
much. Thank you so much,
Glad
you
you're
guys.
here. Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Enjoy those emotes.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. We are running a fundraiser for World Central Kitchen. Help us spread the word. I'll drop some links in the chat if you want to help amplify the awareness. We would appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting us. So Portis, when you look at this symbol, that it is a holy symbol of Hieronius. This appears to be maybe the man's, his holy item that he carried with him on the road.
So looking closer at his outfit, does it look like he had a clerical clothing, or was it just purely travel?
No, traveling clothes. Yeah, he doesn't appear to be, have any sort of clothing that would identify him as a member of something. He just looks like a common traveler.
Now, my best guess then would be he might be sort of an agent deep inside or along the border of this conflict, representing those forces of good and righteousness that I don't always participate in. But would that be an accurate estimation based on what I think is going on here? Would that be fair to say?
That sounds about right. I guess what good that did him. I'll hand the symbol to Mortis. You're a religious man, so
I also recognize the value of the silver. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it's probably worth a fair amount. And of course, with that religion role, you know quite a bit about Hieronius, the Hieronian Code, which has like 3 sort of pillars: duty to the people, sense of justice, courage, valor, protection of the weak, faithfulness to the church, that kind of thing. Duty, the second pillar, duty to Hieronius themselves, the obedience to the teachings, generosity towards others, champion good against evil, putting the needs of the church and the faith above those of individual selfishness and greed. And then the third pillar, duty to a lady. Duty pertains to courtly love, devotion to one's beloved, respect towards all women in general.
That's so precious.
And a belief that all women should have control of all of their decisions in life.
Let's go, Hieronius.
Is there overlap with the Calliston Rangers and this particular faith that I know of?
Give me a history check.
What a concept from the chat.
Right? It's crazy. 12? What you do know of the Calliston Rangers is that they are generally revered as honorable, chivalrous, helpful folk who know good from evil and strive to do good deeds. They quite readily could be followers of Hieronius. Many of them, as you would probably be more familiar, are followers of St. Cuthbert. But yes, this Hieronius would fit into their general philosophy of how they do business in the Archbarony of Calliston.
So I'll just have one more thought. If there's any way to tell if this person may have been clergy, or perhaps a ranger, or even a paladin of the faith.
Well, one thing that's fairly obvious to you now that you're thinking about it is that they don't have any obvious weapons on them. Now, that could mean that their weapon was taken from them, for sure. Could mean that they didn't travel with a weapon, but that would be silly during these times and in this place.
Is there any hoof tracks or anything around here that Melantha, did you see any animal prints or anything that maybe this person had a riding animal?
I will say this: as you have been traveling, you can see the old rutted tracks of wagons, the road having been wet, these ruts after years of travel, hoof prints from thousands of horses riding back and forth on this road. All of it very well sun-baked and dusty. So there's no easy way to identify if there's a fresh track because it's just so dry and desolate. You don't see anything that's immediately fresh. So when you don't know how long this guy's been dead, but you don't see any let me put it this way. You see a lot of tracks, but they're all old, or they appear to be old.
The only fresh tracks that I have noticed is from the recent animals that we scared off from earlier. That's about it. That's all I got.
Yeah, those
Alright,
vultures
so
made a mess, as they do.
Best I figure, this person was a member of the Holy Order of this Heronius, but not of the fighting regiment, because they would have had been on foot, which doesn't make any sense for like lugging armor, carrying big, large, heavy weapons and things like that. So I think what we got ourselves here is a deeply embedded holy man of the ultra righteous sort of order. I say that to clarify the differentiation. Rather, should I say differentiate between them and the sort of holy man that I am? Would want to be confused.
Well,
During
for
that
whatever
conversation,
reason.
she'll roll him up in the quilt, place the rest of the remains of his bag next to it in hopes that other people don't rummage through the rest of his person.
So you cover the body with the blanket. You take the medallion, or do you leave the medallion?
Gave the medallion to Portis.
Yeah.
Portis has the medallion.
To that.
Got you.
I
Okay.
will hold on to that. Yeah.
All right. I love it. So with that, you continue on your journey. The day continues on. The road continues on. Your horses grow weary. Late in the afternoon, early into the evening, you start to try to decide what you're going to do. The horses need rest. You can't just ride horses, without giving them some sort of respite. You need to care for your animals for sure. So you could push them, which could be not great. You could make camp again. So this would be the second night of camping, the first full day of travel. So, and the first full day of ocean going travel for that ship as well, potentially, assuming that they got out of Crockport like they were supposed to, but you don't know any of that. What you did pick up, and I'm sure Philiomena I don't know if Philiomena may or may not have shared that what she saw when she was riding out of Crockport with Night Watch men conversing with some of her, how shall we say, former co-workers at the Merchants Guild. And then, of course, the conversation that you all overheard, those two men talking when you were in the stables before you left town. So you're not exactly sure how everything shook out in Crockport, but nevertheless, you come to the second night. You can make a decision here if you want to camp again or if you want to just keep on moving. What would you like to do?
How much rest would horses need?
I would say you'd probably want to do a couple hours. You wouldn't need to necessarily do a full long rest, but you'd want to rest. You'd want to feed them. You want to give them a chance to, you'd probably want to take the saddles off, brush them. I got to be fair. I'm not a horse guy, but I do know that you have to care for your animals, and so I would say 4 hours, maybe 6. If you do 8, they'd be in tip top shape, and you'd get a full rest, of course, with 8. So it's up to you.
I think 4.
I think just enough rest where the horse can take a break from our equipment. They can eat, they can drink, they can sleep would be efficient.
Yeah, personally, my ass needs a break from my ass.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That too. It's hard on the body to ride like that.
Just the way it jounces.
Can you imagine?
It's not. Oof. Yeah, it doesn't have a nice long gait like your
like
horse.
a meat tenderizing on the tush side.
Oh my
That's why it's called anvil, and you speak to it about meat when you're riding it.
So you do take a break that evening. You stop, you unsaddle the horses, give them a chance to eat some of the grass. Now there's plenty of grass for them to graze and all that good stuff. So that's nice. Because you didn't really pick up supplies. Do you guys have rations?
Let me see. Sure do.
Portis did pack up for travel, so
Inventory.
That's true. You did actually grab traveling bag. So we would say, you could say that you've got a couple days of rations in there, I'm sure. Bedroll and that sort of thing.
I
One
had
day.
6 at the start of this campaign.
6 rations.
Actually, so,
Yeah.
Roll a
do you
d6.
think-
Roll a d6.
Okay, great.
And whatever you roll is how many
4.
you have. So you have 4. You have 4
Okay.
days rations.
Great.
How about you, Mel? Do you have any food?
I have 3 sets of rations.
All right, cool. You have 3 days rations. Great. So you guys are fine on food.
No,
I mean, Portis is not.
I have
Portis is
one
out
day,
of food.
and now this is my out of food. So tomorrow, we
Sucks
either
for
got to
you.
get somewhere or I got to go fishing,
Sucks
So
for you.
share.
or I got to steal it.
Oh, what a hard
I
ass.
can also share.
Thank you, Philomena.
Mel doesn't share food.
She doesn't have to. I can. I think throughout this rest, Philomena is kind of on the outskirts of the camp, pacing back and forth and just keeping an eye out and trying to piece things together in her head and puzzle out what her connection in all of this is and what all of this even is.
In terms
So she
of,
seems-
explain that a little bit more. I'm curious to hear more about that.
in terms of, she knows what her role in the Wretched Steel was. What was their role in all of this? Clearly they're connected to Magnus Crane because all of the supplies that we stole that were supposedly Magnus Crane's was going back on one of his ships that were for Magnus Crane and are supposedly, from what her patron is insinuating, going to Magnus Crane. How he is connected in all of this, how Philomena then will play a part to try and get him to help her with what she needs. But she also knows that a man like this, from anything she's heard so far and the schemes that he has been playing, isn't one that she's going to be able to manipulate. And so she's trying to piece together like what her plan is and what his plan might be.
A lot of masterminding going on back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll me a
Her brain is very
d12,
busy.
Philomena.
D12.
Yeah.
A 9.
Okay. So you're contemplating all of these things, playing out scenarios and trying to come up with some theories on motivations and such. Your companions are doing the things that your companions do as they're in camp, caring for themselves, their horses, etc. The night goes relatively quiet, with one exception. Philomena, at some point in the night, you get up to maybe just take a little bit of a stroll, just to stretch your legs as you're thinking. You look up and you can see that clouds have sort of come in and are obscuring. You can just see a little bit of the moon light shining through these thin clouds that then start to become thicker as the clouds sort of converge to block the moon a little bit. You look down back to the west. You can't see the lights of you're far now from Crockport. You're many miles. You don't see anything there. And you turn to the direction that you're traveling, and you can see a faint flicker of firelight just burning ever so faintly up ahead.
Does it seem like it's getting closer?
Give me a perception check.
What dice do I use? I have too many out. Another natural 1.
You need to get some new dice, girl. Time to put those in
I
jail.
use my good dice too. Like,
They're
I have
being
3
bad.
dice for
Those are being
intention.
bad.
Use your bad dice.
This is my Philomena is good dice, and so now it's going in the dice jail.
Evil Philomena. All right.
Bad
So
dice.
Harley died.
I will say this. It's difficult to tell. You're not sure. Maybe at one point you think it is getting closer.
I think she's
And-
gonna try and put out our fire that we have.
You can easily do that. You can smother the fire and put it out real quick.
And I'm gonna, if
Oh,
depending on what Mel's doing, I imagine that she was probably in her trance since she only needs 4 hours to do that anyways. She'd probably nudge her.
Philomena,
Yeah.
why are you putting out that fire?
I see a light to the east. I can't tell if it's getting closer.
I'll go take a look.
Portis, go ahead and give me a perception check as well, please. I just pushed the wrong button. Here we go.
Pull a J.
I did. I pulled a
Another
J
6.
for sure. Another 6. Yeah, you look out and you can see the faint flicker of firelight, but you're not sure either if it's coming closer or not. You stand there kind of peering off into the darkness. Maybe it's getting closer. I don't know if it is, that kind of thing.
Okay, so Mel comes out of her trance. Can she see the fire, the firelight?
Yeah, they're like looking and you walk over. What are you guys looking at? And you can see there's a flicker of firelight out there.
Okay, I'm gonna
Can you
try to
get
see if it
closer?
comes close. Yeah, if it's coming
Give me a
closer.
perception check.
Can you get closer and
That
check it out
is
a little
a
bit?
17.
Ooh.
17 with your very attuned elven eyes, you can see that there is a campfire burning in the distance.
Okay. So I relay that to two of them. It's not coming closer, but there
I
is
didn't think
someone
it
over
was.
there.
Yep.
So we
You
either
gotta check
need
it
to.
out.
Don't we have a ship to catch? I feel like we need to go around. I don't see any.
How many
Thing about
hours
we need
of
to
rest
stop.
has it been as this happened?
Give me a D4 roll.
Oh
please.
no.
And that fire is ahead of us or about or
It's in the it's in the direction that you're traveling. So it's been 4 hours
Okay.
by this point.
well, we do need to get going here.
Horses aren't really that quiet, but I suppose if they're resting, we could probably charge on by without them being able to hopefully follow too close.
I do want to point out that anvil is not all that fast.
You can always hop on mine. With me, I mean, I'm not riding Anvil. I'm sorry, Anvil.
I didn't think that I would have this this moment of ethical curiosity, I think I'll call it. But do we really want to leave Grukka's steed behind just all by itself like that? It just hadn't struck me before as being a point of concern. But now that we sort of infer it, I feel a little bad about that. Why don't we just ride normal for a minute and see how it goes?
It's either you take them with you, or you leave them behind. Either way, we gotta go.
I think we can try it out if things get.
It just goes with the disguise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just try it.
So I say we don't gallop behind. We walk. The closer we get, we slow to like a walk, to where we're not making so much noise.
Not trying to thunder through, as it were.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the
Exactly.
follow.
All right.
The less attention that comes to us, the quicker we can get around them and get on to where we were going.
Sure, and if whoever's having that campfire wants to give us chase, we'll know. But I think we'll have the advantage because we'll be in the dark.
I can go last if that'll make y'all feel better.
I mean, I think I end up last by default if y'all get into even more than a trot. But
Well, either way, if you end up giving our position away, we can just outrun you and leave you behind.
I'll just hop on the back with Philiomena if something like that looks like it might happen, with your leave, of course.
Just know if you fall behind, I'm not worrying about you.
Somehow, I probably could have figured that out by myself.
Oh, I'm glad
It
you
might be a
did.
blessing in disguise if you get left behind. Maybe she won't have to chase you
Yeah.
down.
Oh, I'll find him.
It was a joke.
Oh my God.
Let's not make the night any darker than it really is right now.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
disguise is my middle name, so.
Mel, do you have any sort of? I mean, you can just not be seen, but do you have any sort of disguise if they are people from some sort of town?
You
and
could
maybe
go
word
as
has
a
gotten
nice
out?
person. They wouldn't recognize you.
That's not as fun. Yeah, I can go as a
Mom and Dad are fighting.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can, dress as do have a disguise kit. I can dress as a merchant woman, riding on her horse.
That
Passing
definitely
through.
won't get us robbed. Yes, great.
That's okay.
Great
They don't
choice.
know. They don't know what I'm hiding.
Yeah. All right, that'll be fine. We definitely won't get robbed. This is fine. Everything's fine. Let's go.
All right, so you guys saddle up, and you with your plan in place, and you head out. It's still dark. You can see the fire burning. This is a hilly country, so you sort of crest these hills and come down in these little valleys as this rolling grassland countryside. And eventually, you lose track of the fire. Maybe it's out. Maybe it's in a different location. Maybe it's concealed by something. But you don't see it again as you travel through the rest of the night.
Philomena would like rub her eyes a couple of times and be like looking around, trying to see any sort of like light within the darkness. We all did see it, right? Like, I'm not just like hallucinating or anything. That would be a first, but I would honestly, it isn't past me at this point.
I think I saw it a lot better than the two of you, I would say.
That's fair. Okay, right.
I suppose it might have gone out. They
either went to bed.
Yeah.
Or they know we're here.
Of course, it makes them kind of stupid to leave a fire unattended and letting it go out in the middle of the wilderness, but it happens.
I guess we can only hope that someone that dumb's out here. All right.
One way to find out is we keep moving forward.
And so you do. Eventually, riding into the day as the sun rises over the landscape, you can see the landscape coming to life with birds beginning to kind of flit about the tall grasses and through the trees. Some meadowlarks, a kind of a large flock of meadowlarks just kind of fly past the horses as you're traveling. You can hear the ocean crashing against the shoreline. You could see sort of dark clouds billowing to the north. Unclear what that means, that the wind gusts sort of like blowing in your face still, giving you some perhaps consolation that maybe the ship's travel is been slowed as you make progress across the landscape. You come to a fork in the road, and there's an old weathered sign. And I'm actually gonna let me bring up a map here. I'm gonna bring up Anna's map.
Amazing.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, I've got it right here. Here we go. I've got it in Owlbear for you guys to check out. So let me bring it up for the folks in the chat. So you've made some progress. You've traveled quite a bit, and you get to sort of this fork in the road here, crossing over a small river, and you can see a sign that says Grabford, continuing on in the direction to the east. And you can see a sign that says Gull Keep, kind of pointing to the north. And then there's another sign below it says Crimson Brook. So you come to this junction in the road, and I'm assuming that you're heading towards Gull Keep. And so you continue on, and it's getting to be sort of late in that day as you're traveling.
Can we tell by the map how close Crimson Brook might be?
It seems like you'd be there maybe by the end of the day as you continue traveling.
Well, I think these disguises shouldn't go to waste. We could stay in Crimson Brook instead of sleeping on the ground and worrying about campfires and ghostly campfires and sneaky, creepy things out there in the forest and the woods or whatever's going on.
Oh,
on the landscape around here.
do we know anything about Crimson Brook? Like what kind of town it is from
Mm.
living in Crockport?
Give me a history check, Philomena.
Alrighty, what is my history? Not the worst.
Could be better.
Oh,
That's
Vamp
an-
Wickman, you old rascal.
Ooh,
An
What?
that's an 11.
11. Okay. Thank you, Vamp.
11.
Vamp, if you're in the chat, give me a D6 roll, please. This is what you know, Philomena.
No.
This is what you know. You know that there is, there's a town called Crimson Brook, and largely the people and the towns out here subsist off of either agriculture or sheep herding. So you're guessing that it's probably an agrarian sort of focused town, probably small. That's about all you can tell. You haven't really heard much about it in particular, just in general.
All right.
Thank you, Vamp.
My
So,
only hesitation is we don't know who is currently in charge of the town.
Let's just get a story together real quick. Here's what I'm thinking. My pop sent me out here to check out, the prospects for raising sheep. That's what I'm doing. And Melantha, you're along to check the shop prospects in the town because you're my aunt. And you wanted, it's sort of a family thing, see. So I'm the shepherd, you're the shopkeep, or maybe the money behind it. And Philomena, that just leaves you with your story.
I think I disguise myself to look very similar to the disguised Portis, but female. We were both sent.
You're my sister.
Yes.
So I changed my disguise as, he's, giving out our roles to a sheep herder's aunt. I guess wearing,
You
sheep
can
herder
keep
clothing.
the merchant thing going if you want, because you're going to be you're the coin, if you know what I mean, Auntie Melantha.
Okay. All right. That sounds like a great plan.
It's
People
how
like
I stayed.
people like talking to, members of the merchants guild.
Oh, for more than one reason. Isn't that
Exactly.
right, Philomena? Yeah. So that's our story. We are checking out prospects in this area for setting up family business.
seems totally reasonable and legit. I love every minute of it. All right, so you have your story straight, and we have Vamp Wickman stirring the pot of deliciousness here. I'm gonna fast forward us a little bit here. As you continue forward on the horizon, you see now, as you crest this hill, a collection of sun-bleached structures rising from the barren earth, slumped and gray under the midday sun. You can see smoke twisting from somewhere beyond, a black tendril clawing up into the sky before it vanishes as the wind, as I mentioned, there's sort of a large gusty wind situation, blows it away. You can see this settlement, Crimson Brook, before you as you stop and gaze down upon it. It appears silent, empty, almost abandoned. Ruin of timber and dust, like a carcass. Like maybe the carcass you saw on the road before is a bit of a portent of what you might find here, picked clean and left to bleach in the sun. There's a weathered signpost, splintered, says Crimson Brook, faded, flaking, paint streaked by years of sun and rain. There's no other welcoming message behind it, like, hey, welcome to our quaint little community, or enjoy your stay. Nothing of those sorts. Just a bare, stark wooden sign. You arrived in Crimson Brook. You can smell this foul stench on the wind that blows off of this town. Motion catches your eye, Portis. Or should I say Hobin? As you look down this valley towards town, and you can see that there is a herd of sheep that seem to be grazing without shepherd. Aside from the abandoned town and the stench, it's a very like quaint, kind of bucolic sort of vibe here.
I had hoped that we could settle down here and put in roots, but do y'all catch that smell? And you see the sheep? Look, there is a herd over yonder.
I don't like this at all.
Something doesn't seem
Yeah,
okay.
things don't add up here.
As you say that, Mel, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, you guys can do what you will with this place, and I will do what I will with the power of Vamp Wickman behind me. So thank you to everybody who's been hanging out with us. Stick around because the pot's about to get stirred here on the Outlaws of Greyhawk, and I think you're going to like it a lot. So we'll be back in just a couple short minutes. Don't forget, you can influence the game like Vamp Wickman. You can be just like Vamp Wickman by donating to our World Central Kitchen fundraiser. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Be back in 5 minutes. Our outlaws have escaped the calamity of Crockport, the aftermath of the showdown in the streets out in front of the Rusty Anchor, their companion Grukka having fallen at the hand of the Wretched Steel Gang, who at one point was this group of outlaws' employer. Some things happened. Some unfortunate decisions were made. Some scrolls were read. Some individuals were murdered. It was just a mess back there in Crockport. But we're on the road now. We're off to better, brighter, and better things, or we were. You guys find yourselves now looking down over this, for all intents and purposes, abandoned town of Crimsonbrook on your way to Gull Keep. The sun is hanging low in the sky. There's a very strong wind coming off of the coastline. You can see in the distance, you can make out these big storm clouds that seem to be rising to the north and seem to be slowly but surely moving their way in your direction. There's definitely a storm brewing out there. You stand next to your steeds, looking down into this town, and you can see that there is a small flock of sheep grazing. And you don't see any sort of tender, you don't see any sort of anybody right now. What do you guys want to do?
I'd like to say, I don't think I'd normally advise that we go through this town being abandoned as it is, but I do need to resupply my food.
You think you're gonna find any food out here that's good?
Oh, I can't imagine that this place has been abandoned long.
We go around. It'll take too long.
That's my concern as well. But whatever you think, Auntie.
bone-headed nephew of mine. Go find some food.
I don't want to go down there myself. Let's go together.
I mean,
Fine.
I'll go with brother.
Thank you, sister.
Are you
Auntie, you are supposed to look after us now. Come on.
Are you going to walk your horses in? Are you going to ride your horses in? What are you going to do?
Ride.
Right.
Right.
All right. So you ride your horses down this barren, cracked roadway into this town. It's quiet. You can see this flock of sheep that don't seem to pay any notice to you. And as you start to make your way in between these ramshackle buildings, some of them thatch roofed houses that seem to have sort of fallen into disrepair. It looks, to your point, Portis, Holben, I should say, it looks as though if this place was inhabited, it wasn't that long ago. It's almost like people just sort of up and left. There are, for example, there you walk past a house where there's a broom and a lane against a fence, and there's a bucket of apples that are look possibly edible, certainly by your horses. There are some doors that were left ajar. They're open doors, as if someone hastily left, perhaps. As you're trotting through this town.
I'm looking for a store.
All right. Give me a perception check, please.
Now the light's getting dimmer. Night's going to be upon us here before we know it. But is that a store over there? Wow, a whopping 8.
Couple things. You see a bunch of different buildings that look mostly as if they're residences. There is a cemetery that you pass by. Seems to be enclosed by a low, crooked fence. There's sun-bleached headstones that are kind of leaning at strange angles, half sunk into the earth. Some dried and dead flowers placed before some of the headstones. Can't make out the names on any of them, but there's something inscribed on just about all of them as you're passing by. You continue on and you see that there's a building with a sign hanging out in front of it, a faded sign, lettering spelling out Hannigan's Goods. There's a cracked front window obscured by dirt and grime. The door hangs slightly open, swinging just enough to give off a little bit of a rusty hinge kind of noise. And that's when you catch a bit of movement down what could pass as an alley in this kind of one road town. Think of like Pale Rider kind of rolling into this single street that passes through a small cluster of buildings. And you look over and you can see that there's 2 of these sheep. Now they seem to be maybe rams. They've got large horns and they're sort of like tangling with each other in an alley. They look like they're maybe fighting over something. There's something laying on the ground in front of them.
That's peculiar behavior for a couple of rams.
2 males fighting. What? How peculiar is that?
Well, but it's what they're fighting over. It doesn't. I'm not so sure they're fighting each other. What is that?
I don't think we should look into it.
Philiomena, as you say that, they're both Portis, Holben, and Mel are looking down, kind of discussing the wherewithal of two rams button heads, and you're kind of giving them a little bit of advice, and you look over and you see a humanoid shape just for a moment, and then it disappears. And that's when these 2 rams turn, take notice of the 3 of you sitting on your horses in front of this store. They turn at you and they charge. And you can see another one comes out of another alley, and another one comes out of another alley. And as they get closer, I'm going to have you all roll initiative, but as they get closer to you, you can see them. You can see that their faces are bloodied. They have these massive fangs. Their horns are jagged and sharp, and they look as if they are ravenous, almost wolf-like creatures in sheep's clothing, in sheep's clothing as they race towards you. And this individual steps out behind them as they're all racing towards you. 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them coming towards where you're clustered. This individual stands with a shepherd's hook, a crook, and stands behind them and just looks as they come in. Let's all roll initiative and let's get into a random encounter provided by our good friend Vamp Wickman. Thank you so much, Vamp, for the donation.
Yeah,
we are gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
I'm speeding everybody.
Yep.
No.
All right, here we go.
Initiative? Oh god.
Yep. Oh. All right. Let's go with this. Let's go 25 to 20.
21.
Okay. What'd you get, Portis? Hoban?
20.
All right.
Rude,
So
20.
Mel for 21. Hoban for 20. Let me just look at this real quick. Okay. All right. Philomena, what did you get?
I got a 14.
Okay. All
I'd
right.
like to say what shows them that some shit's going down is the Philomena just screams.
Yep, that tracks. All right, so here's how it's gonna look. Boop. Let me bring a map up. I'm gonna show you guys some creatures running your way.
Oh boy. Oh, I don't like the look of them either.
No, zoom in on them and take a look at that.
Yeah,
That's what you're
they got
dealing
red
with.
eyes and it's like all bloody. Oh, they don't have red eyes. It's just that their face is bloody.
They're
Wow.
bloody. Yeah, they're nasty critters. All right, let me bring up the map for our friends here in the chat. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna get into it now, my friends.
And what is that in the back?
That's the shepherd.
I don't like them.
No.
I
Death
don't like them
Shepherd.
a bit.
Yeah, Death Shepherd.
Death
All right,
Shepherd.
so at the top of the order, Mel, what would you like to do? You are currently on your horse. I'm gonna do this. Your horses are going to spook as this happens. The first thing I need you to do, Mel, is I need you to roll a animal handling check, please.
Oof.
Actually, you can all roll one.
That's a 2.
Okay. All right, Mel, you fall off of Phaler, and Phaler just kind of runs away as you fall onto the ground. So you are prone right now. What about poor Hoban? What do you have?
10.
10. You are able to maintain your position on top of Anvil, who you know is a very slow mule. And Philomena, how about you?
12?
12. You are able to maintain your position on top of your horse as well. Dottie. Yeah, Dodie. So you're good. Yeah, we got some, hey, zombie sheeple in the house. All right, you're in the right place. This was designed for you. This encounter,
exactly-
yeah,
Wondering if
this
they were
encounter was
zombies
designed for you.
or not.
Yep. All right. So these are actually these are patterned off of Anna Meyer's Iusian zombie goats.
Oh no.
Great. That sounds so great.
Yep. So Mel, you are currently on the ground, prone. Your horse has Phaler has run off. What would you like to do?
Get
You
up
wanna
as quick as I can.
You can use half your movement to stand up, no problem. And then what would you like to do?
Ooh. I'm gonna move closer to the half move it, right? Move the closest to the move to the closest hell goat.
Yeah, right here.
Zombie goat. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep. Go ahead and move your token, and then let me know what you want to do.
I'm gonna go after him with my go to 2-weapon fighting, my short sword, and my dagger.
Okay.
Okay, so that is 14 on my short sword
That will hit.
and a 23 on my dagger.
Both of those hit.
Let's go.
So let's see. Sorry. Okay, so the short sword did 5 points of damage,
Okay.
and the dagger did 6 points of damage.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Yeah, you watch as you slash it with the sword, you pierce it with the dagger as this thing is running towards you on all four hooves. It kind of gets up on its hind legs as you strike at it. It kind of it struggles and falls down on the ground and goes limp. And you've kind of used all your movements. You've used your bonus action. Yeah. I think that's your turn, Mel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. So that brings us to their turn. And they are fast. So they are going to race up Portis to Anvil. I'm going to need you to make another animal handling check. And Philomena, I'll have you make another animal handling check as well.
Okay, come on, girl. Stay with me.
18.
Another
Okay.
12.
All right. You maintain, both of you are able to maintain your position, but these things are going after your horses. Not great. Not great. All right. So we'll start with number 1 is going to attack Anvil with a gore attack. Oh shit. You know what? I'm gonna be nice to the horses. All you horse people out there, I'm gonna be nice. These guys can jump. These goats can jump. So that's actually gonna jump up and try to knock you off the damn thing, Portis.
And Mike Tyson me out.
Yeah, it's gonna Mike Tyson punch out kind of deal here. All right, so a gore attack. That is an 18 to hit.
Pretty much.
Give me a let's go ahead and just say give me a dex saving throw. You can blame Vamp for this.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
seems
we are.
real excited about the air
Yeah.
sound ghost.
Yeah. We're blaming him for this.
I
Hey,
got
thank you,
another
Dennis.
6.
A 6? Yeah, you fall
Yeah.
off onto the ground. Anvil just runs off. But you are now on the ground prone. You are going to take, from that gore hit, you're going to take 6 piercing damage. And then the other one is going to make an attack on you as you're prone with advantage with a gore attack. Oh my God. Yeah, these things are great. And oh yeah, I just rolled 2 18s. So that's a 21 to hit. Oh
That one
shoot.
misses.
9 points of damage. That's those 2.
16 in one go.
Yeah, that's not good. Number 3 is going to try to gore Mel, who you got up, Mel, so you're standing. That's good. That's a 15.
Yes, exactly.
Oof. All right. So let's see. Also, okay. Yep. So you're going to take 6 piercing damage. Number 4 is going to also try to gore you. That is only a 14, so that one misses.
Yep.
And then Philomena, number 5, is going to jump and try to hit you. I'm going to use my advantage on this one that I got from the chat.
You
No.
jerk.
That is a 19 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Come on, girl. 18.
You stay on.
Oh wait, that is an 18. 20.
Okay. Yep. You stay on your steed, but you are going to take 6 points of piercing damage as this thing slams into you. And then it is Hoban's turn.
Oh, well, hey, I'm going to do something before I die.
Yes, do something.
Yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my symbol of the Sylar, and I am going to...
Oh, before you do that,
Yeah. Oh, and
both Rachel and Ty have an advantage from the chat. Thank you very much, Brungal.
thank you, chat.
So
Awesome.
much ruined gold.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Sweet. The first thing I'm going to do is stand up and just slip between these two guys one smidge, but I'm not going to break.
Oh, can I
Right.
interrupt you for 1 second just to add
Yes.
one little piece? Mel, The number 4, the one that you knocked down, the reason it got to attack you is because as it became its turn, you watched as it started to shake and come back to life and get up back on its feet and gore you. Even though you had dropped it and you thought it was dead, basically, because it went still. All right, go ahead, Ty.
Great.
I'm going to channel divinity as I hold my holy symbol of Sylar into the sky, and I'm going to turn undead against.
Ooh, yes.
Every one of them is in range,
Oh, that's huge.
including a hooker head over
And you
there.
have an advantage.
Okay.
Don't need it because they
It
have to make a
saves.
wisdom saving
Oh,
throw.
that's right.
Wisdom saving throw. Okay, very cool. And this affects undead creatures, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And every one of them, if they're all undead, they are all within range. They can see and hear me.
Okay, so all of the goats are gonna make it, but the shepherd, if you will, does not. So we'll go with, this is a wisdom save?
Yes.
All right, so number 1 is a fail. Number 2 is a fail. Number 3 is a fail. Number 4 is a success. And number 5 is a success. So 1, 2, and 3 fail.
They must dash away from me as their only option for the duration of that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to drink my healing potion.
That's on their turn, correct?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. All right. So you turn the undead, and that's on 1, 2, and 3. That's your turn. Let's go to Philiomena.
I'm gonna quickly roll a wisdom save to see which side we're gonna be getting. Great. I used the patron dice. It's a natural 20. So there is where that fear is laying is suddenly like a red hot anger of we have a job to do, and of course these people have to get in the way of it. People. Not only threatening her horse, which was her mother's, and threatening the 2 people that are supposed to get her to where she needs to go. So from that light under her half cloak, similar to what you guys saw earlier, fire swirls down her arms, and in 3 blasts, I'm going to Scorching Ray the guy.
Awesome. By the way, as you're doing that, Heart of Adventure, thank you very much. Everyone is healed up to full hit points.
Let's go.
Yeah. The gods, the patron, your god, your Cyril, whoever your
Cyril,
dark
yes.
patron is, whatever this book is that Mel carries around, whatever it might be, you feel this surge of energy as you are healed to full health. Thank you so much, Heart of Adventure.
Goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have to roll 3 rays, and I add my spell attack bonus, which I know what that is. Definitely, it's +6. Okay.
Charisma, yep. It's your charisma score. I'll use charisma bonus.
So it's charisma bonus plus proficiency.
Right.
So the first one's a 16.
Which one are you attacking?
The shepherd.
Oh, okay. Let's see. That hits.
Okay. I'm gonna use an advantage on the second one because I don't want this to miss, and I'm glad I did. It was the same thing twice, so that's an 8.
8 points.
Which I am assuming misses.
Oh, an 8 to hit.
An 8 to
Yeah,
hit.
eight misses. Yep. First one hits,
the
second
next
one misses.
Definitely hits. It's an 18 on the dice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
2 hits.
46 fire damage.
Ooh, nice.
12 points of fire damage to him. Math is hard.
Okay, 12 total.
12 total.
You let's see. Sure. You're focused on that creature. Yeah. You just fired some serious magical damage at it. You see this hideous maw, and you just hear this almost laughter, this cackling laughter, as it takes this crook, this shepherd's crook, and kind of like spins it in its hand. What would you like to do? Do you have anything else?
I'm still on my horse. This creature is still here. I'm just gonna move across it. And then that is my turn, because I can't cast another spell, sadly.
Okay. Give me another, I'm going to have you guys roll animal handling. Well, you, because you're the only one on a horse. Give me another animal handling check, please.
Come on, Dodie. Stick with me, girl. No! That's a 5!
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. So you get thrown off of Dodie. Dodie takes off running, and because I'm a benevolent GM, we're not going to have these animals chase after the horses. The horses are off doing something else. They're hiding.
Gonna eat us.
They're hiding. Yeah. But you, Philomena, you do get thrown off the horse, and you fall to the ground. You are prone.
The air is knocked out of her lungs. She is gasping.
Yep. All right. That's your turn, right?
That is my turn.
Okay. All right. This shepherd is going to move forward. And Portis, you speak Abyssal?
I speak
Abyssal.
You do speak Abyssal?
I speak
Infernal.
Okay. This creature, you know the accent. This creature calls out, and Philomena, as you're looking this slathering, drooling Iusian zombie goat up, just looking down at you, ready to pounce. You can hear this voice that says, "If you came here to die, you're on time." And then Portis, I need you to make a Constitution. Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay, I'm gonna use one of my advantages for this.
Come on.
Con save. Is 12.
Oof. Okay, so you look up as this creature calls out, and you can kind of tell, you get the gist of it, you know? And you look over, and you can see its eyes flash black, and these clouds come out of its eyes and extend towards you, filling the space between the two of you, and you feel your strength withering. And for the next minute, you are going to be affected by this thing, and it is going to sap your strength. So your strength, basically, when any damage that you deal with a strength-based weapon will be half damage.
Ooh.
So you just feel like everything get heavy on you, and then it is going to take the crook, the shepherd's crook, as it takes another step forward. Portis is going to swing it at you. Yeah, that's a 22 to hit. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay. So it's going to do 6 points of damage as it just jabs the sharp end of the crook the bottom of the crook, right into you. And then he is going to reach out and grab your face and try to claw your face with its last attack. I know. That's only an 11.
That's a miss.
That's a miss. Okay, that's back to the top of the order, Mel.
I did get an advantage from Brungal, by the way.
Hey, all right. Thank you, Brungal. Appreciate that.
So one of these zombie goats are turned, correct?
3 of them are.
3 of them are, yep.
I had one
But
on me that was one.
You may or may not know that, Mel, to be honest with you. You probably don't know that.
So it hasn't run off yet?
No, it's not its turn yet.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going to
if we're being honest.
Attack one with a short sword, attack one with a dagger.
You're gonna attack both of them, but with different weapons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Short sword on number 4 and dagger on number 3.
Okay.
Okay, so short sword, that is a dirty 20.
Yeah, number 3 takes
Dagger.
damage.
Dagger is a 13.
That hits as well. So 4
Okay.
takes damage as well.
So short sword damage, that is 6 points of damage. Dagger damage.
6 points. Okay.
Dagger damage is also 6 points of damage.
All right. So unfortunately, that number 3 is no longer turned because it took damage. However, the good news,
no.
Mel, there's some good news. I've got good news for you too. I think you'll like this news. The other one is dead. Drops to the ground. Number 4 goes down.
Okay.
If I can
Okay.
find my.
Okay, we
So
can,
you
we
can't
can deal with this.
you can kill these things. Okay.
There we go. Boop. We got to get some Mysian zombie goat blood down there. Okay. Anything else from Mel?
DM, not to be contrarian, but I don't know that if it taking damage makes any difference by rule.
Does
The
it? I
creature,
thought it
if the
did.
creature fails a saving throw, it is its turn for 1 minute until it takes damage.
Oh well, shoot. Okay, sorry. It's okay. I'll get it.
Will die is fine.
No, that is it. That is all the action I'm doing.
Okay, that brings us to them goats. Them goats is gonna do some damage. Let's see. Number 3 is going to. It's just gonna try to gore you, Mel. But I don't think that 13. I don't think that's gonna hit you. Nope, it misses. Number 1, Portis is going. Actually, number 1 and 2 are gonna run.
I thought 3 was running as well.
No, that's the one that took damage.
It took
that
damage
was
from
the
me.
dead one? Gotcha. Yeah, 1 and 2 have to run.
Yep.
Wait for me.
Oh, thank God, because you were surrounded.
Yeah, they run away. And then number 5 did save. So number 5 is going to attack Philomena with the gore attack. That's, yeah.
Because I'm prone.
Oh, okay. 21.
I like being honest.
Yep. That's appreciated.
That's good karma.
Yep. 5 piercing damage as it gores you with its horns. That's their turn. Hoban, it's your turn. This guy just jabbed you. This shepherd just jabbed you with his shepherd's crook.
Yes. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my bonus action to Shield of Faith and increase my armor class by 2.
Smart.
And then I'm going to slap both my hands aside his crooked head and attempt to inflict wounds at
Ooh.
2nd level.
Yes. Very cool.
It is a... Come on. 23 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Let's go. It's coming back around. You're missing so many times. It's paying off.
Yep.
19 points of damage as I
Ooh, very cool.
molder the
Ooh.
skull of this bizarre creature standing next to me.
This is all vamp right here, just FYI.
Again, thank you.
Anything else from Portis?
Not at the moment, but
Okay.
I hope that was a memory for him to carry on to wherever he goes from here.
Yeah, he definitely howls as you take a massive chunk of his vital force. You're still feeling sapped with your energy, but nevertheless, you deal a great hit to him. Anything? Okay, that's it for Hoban. We'll go to Philomena next.
I'm going to, seeing that Portis has got this handled. You know, 2 of the rams ran away from him. He's
Yep.
got his hands on the guy in front
That's
of
good.
him.
It's all
That's
good.
all him. I'm gonna turn to the goat behind me, and that the shadows of it that it's casting on the ground begin to crawl up it and into its eyes, and I'm gonna hex it.
Okay.
And that's my bonus action, and with my action, I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
I believe it's at disadvantage because
Because you're prone? Oh, yeah, because you're...
Can I get up?
No, you're right, though. It's also a ranged attack at melee range, so yeah. You should get up, probably.
I get up.
Yeah, yep. And then, yeah, make an attack with disadvantage against this guy.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. 16?
That hits.
Rolled a 10 and a 15. So then that is 1d10 and 1d6.
Come on now.
Come on now. That is 10 damage.
10 points of damage?
10 points of damage.
It drops to the ground.
Would you say it is dead? Because if it is, I get a thing. If I, well, I guess the wording is if I reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points.
You did. You decreased it to 0 hit points.
Part of that shadow, kind of that sickening squeal that you heard when the big orc guy died that I can't remember the name of. Oh God.
Zakar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cragtooth?
Cragtooth. Happens again, except this time there's a gas that emits and goes to Philiomena, and as she breathes it in, she looks healthier.
Ooh. Creepy.
She looks happy about it too, which is
happy and healthy.
Part.
Isn't that wonderful?
Breathing in goat gas.
So you're basically siphoning the undead energy of this zombie goat. Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Plot twist. Philiomena is the most creepiest, scariest one out of the whole group.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Anything else from Philiomena?
That is my turn.
Okay. That brings us to the shepherd. Sam Shepherd over here. Is going to make some attacks at you, Portis. It's not happy with what you just did. And so it is going to, it's going to attack you with a spear. That is a 21 to hit.
Yeah. I'm not a dragon.
8 piercing damage.
Oof.
And then he's going to do a claw attack as well.
Come on, Portis.
And that one misses as you stumble out of the way, and it swings with its claw, these bloody, long, pointed... It's not even like nails, it's just the fingers come to sharp points. And that is its turn. That brings us to the top of the order, Mel.
I'm gonna still continue to whack at this goat.
Yep.
Both 2-weapon dagger and short sword.
Okay.
So that is a 7 on my short sword.
Misses.
And 23 on my dagger.
Yeah, that one hits.
Okay. Let's see. That is 7 points of damage.
Yeah, it goes down. Do you want to move or do you want to stay put?
I am going to move a little bit this way.
Mm-hmm.
And prepare my next weapon.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right. So this is what happens. Philiomena, you look down at this motionless creature that you just siphoned life force from, and it's just motionless. It starts to shake, and it starts to crack as it stands back up on its hooves and is going to make an attack at you.
Oh God.
That is a 15.
Oh, that's my AC.
Oh shit. Shit. All right, so that's going to be 8 piercing damage. Mel, as you're backing away and getting into a strategic position, you look back at the lifeless form of the goat that you just dropped, and it starts shaking, gets up all kind of herky-jerky, and starts like scrambling towards you. So it uses half its movement to get up, and then it can get to you because it has a lot of movement. Anna created a really scary animal here. Yep, and it's going to attempt to gore you as it comes in. 14.
Misses.
Yes, you see it coming and you dodge out of the way, and it just kind of like goes past you like a matador. That brings us to Hoban.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, thanks for the raid, Phoenixy Wacky and friends.
Welcome,
Welcome.
Oh my gosh, welcome.
Great to see you all. I hope your game was fantastic. We got a random monster drop from our chat, and we're dealing with the aftermath of that right now.
And oh boy.
And oh boy. Go ahead.
This is fine.
Crook-headed shepherd swings at, sticks me with the spear and then swings at me. I dodge out of the way and it misses, and I go, "You and I aren't exactly all that different, you know?" And I swing back at him and try to grab his face, and I'm going to use my other advantage on this attack.
Come on.
Let's do it.
I'm using the second level again.
Thank you guys for the raid, and thank you for supporting the fundraising effort for World Central Kitchen. Y'all very, very stoked.
22 to hit.
That will hit. And we are at 17, just over $1,700, guys, closing in on that $2,500 mark.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Making our way up.
Ty, what'd you get for damage?
25 smoldering necrotic
Whoa.
points of head shrinking
25?
damage. So I grab him by the face and I shake his head like
Wow.
I grab by that crook in his head. And I
Amazing.
smolder the necrotic damage into his head. And then I grab and I pop the cork on my healing potion as a bonus action and I drink it.
Nice. Drink it down.
Yes.
All right. Great turn. A massive blast of necrotic energy as you see sort of it ripple across this creature's face, down its neck, into its chest, and out to its claws, as it looks like it is preparing to come back at you. But before that happens, it's Philomena's turn.
The creature, after it struck us, went down again, right?
Say it one more time.
After the goats that were dead struck us, did they go down again?
Nope. This one that is currently next to you is up, like attacking you.
Shit.
Yeah.
So I can't transfer my hex. That's okay. Would you say that Philomena had seen what happened to number 4?
In terms
Like,
of
would she
it dying?
have the knowledge that it would die again?
I don't know. Maybe.
Can I roll a perception to see if I had seen it? Because I don't want to metagame.
Sure. Yeah. Or you can just say if you saw it or not. It doesn't really matter to me. It's totally up to you.
That's 20, so.
Yeah. There we go. Let's get that out of the way.
What is happening with these dice rolls? Okay. Having seen that, I'm then going to turn my attention to the shepherd, and in Abyssal, I'm going to say to him, "You might want to say a prayer to your daddy, because you're not going to see him again." And Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
There you go with the one-liners.
I'm trying. It took me a few rounds. 18?
18 hits.
All right. Come on, my trusty D10. That's an 8. 8 force damage.
All right. 8 force damage. Got it. Anything else from Philomena?
I don't really have a bonus action that I can use at the moment, so that's it for me.
Daddy's coming down here and he's fucking pissed. All right. That's the end of Philomena's turn. It is the Sam Shepherd's turn. He is going to do the old 1-2. Actually, you know what? Philomena, give me a con save.
Oh, that's not nice. A terrible con save. 15?
Okay. You feel this this gaze that falls upon you as you call out to it, but then it turns back to Portis and is going to make a spear attack with its shepherd's crook. That is going to be a 16 to hit Portis. Does that miss you?
Nope, that hits.
Oh, shit. I thought you bumped up your AC.
I did.
Yeah, not enough apparently.
Dang.
Shoot.
It's this stupid padding. It's
Come
not
on.
7 piercing
More of a
damage.
Are you up? Are you up? Are you up?
I'm up.
And then he's going to spin around and use the spear again.
Come on.
Oh, 24. Ooh,
Nail biting.
10 more piercing damage.
Holy crap. That takes me out of the picture.
Portis goes down as this creature looks and just kind of like steps over Portis as if like claiming his quarry, and looks at you, Philomena, with these long lanky you're next. But before that happens, we're back to the top of the order with Mel.
I'm getting this thing down.
Do it.
Short sword dagger again. Okay, that is a 8 on my short sword. And a 24 on my dagger.
The 24 hits.
So well.
Yeah, the 24 hits. I mean, this thing's like getting right up on you, so like swinging a sword is tough, but you jab it with the dagger.
5 points of piercing damage.
It's just a scratch. That is enough to drop that thing down, and you see zombie blood and goo everywhere.
Okay. I'm going to move that way.
Okay, that's your movement. That brings us to the Iusian zombie goats that Anna B. Meyer created. And there's one left. It is going to attack Philomena. Ooh, 17, Philomena.
That does hit.
7 piercing damage.
Okay.
That is its turn. Let me just double check something here. Yep, that's its turn. That means it's Hoban's turn. Hoban, I need a death save, please. You want a 10 or higher?
I know you do want that. Come on, give me. Yes, 16.
Okay, so you have 1 success on the table.
I'm just sitting there with my goddess, having a meal of beetles and slugs.
Ooh, that sounds delish. Hey,
Couple little kisses.
very cool. We just got, it looks like about a... Did we just get another set of advantages from Brune Golf? One for Coco and one for Rachel. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you so much.
Ringo, you're awesome.
So that was
And thank you
Hoban.
for donating as well.
Yes, thank you so much for helping us out. We're gonna let's get to at least 1800 tonight, guys. All right, Philomena, it's your turn. What would you like to do? This goat is still goring at you.
I'm gonna attack that goat.
Okay.
Do I use the advantage now because it's at disadvantage to hit? To make it just a straight roll.
The thing about advantages is if you're dead, you can't use them.
Yeah, I'll use it. That's a great point. So that would be a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Great. Die. Yay! 9 points of damage.
Yeah, well over the needed amount to drop this thing down to the ground.
Once again, I get that same rush of that kind of smoky air into her lungs, and the shadow of the goat darts towards the shepherd and begins to circle and crawl its way up.
Yes.
And I hex him.
Okay, very cool. I'll move this hex over to...
And then I'm gonna back the fuck up.
Yep. Give me a perception
Full
check,
movement.
please.
Oh, I hate that. Thank you. Okay. That is 9.
Okay. That's enough to notice that there is what appears to... You know that flock of sheep that you saw grazing as you sort of made your way into town before all this happened? You can see that they are now running down the side of the hill towards town. You just kind of like look over your shoulder, you see this white cloud racing down the hillside.
We gotta move fast, Mel.
Let's see. Let's then go. Oh, it is the shepherd's turn, isn't it? They are hexed. You run away. He turns, looks over at Mel.
I'm so sorry.
And is going to jump. Like he just leaps off the ground into the air, lands right in front of you, Mel. And is going to make an attack with this crook. first. That's an 18 to hit. This guy's kind of a badass. That is 5 piercing damage. And I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw, please, as it looks deep into your eyes and you can see this smoke begin to billow out and sort of like come towards you, obscuring your vision.
Pass it.
Okay. I'm gonna use an advantage.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I need to mark this off so I make sure I remember how to do that. That's a 6 on the first one. Oh, that's a nat 20. I'm using that one.
Hey! All right. Yes. Very
Okay,
cool.
okay,
So
okay.
you save and you feel like this your life force beginning to drain, but you sort of like resolve yourself and you push that away and avoid that withering gaze effect, which is great. But it does get a second attack. It's going to try to claw you across the face. A 15. That doesn't hit you, does it?
Hits exactly, yeah.
Oh no. All right. So 15 to the face. This might leave a mark. That's going to be 6 slashing damage. All right. That is, now we're back to your turn, Mel.
All right, so I'm going to Misty Step to Portis. On the other side, though.
Ooh, let's go.
I am going to take a healing potion,
Let's go.
shove it down his throat, and when he becomes conscious, I'm going to tell him, your life is now mine. I hope you know this.
Eyes come open. I go, Melantha?
Yeah, so I give him my healing potion, and when he becomes conscious and he's able to hear me, I say, your life is now mine. I hope
love
you
it.
know this. So
I have
get to
this-
do with you what I will.
Whoa. Hello. I have this vision of like Portis like having this sort of like dying moments, sort of vision of himself having like tea with Cyril and eating these like worms and centipedes and things. And there's like some strange sludge in this teacup that you're trying to choke down. And then as Cyril kind of turns and starts looking at you and speaking, it's Melantha's voice, and then it fades into Melantha's face. She's kind of like looking over you. But you do come to consciousness, Brother Portis, as you're laying on the ground, or should I say Hoban? I don't know what to call you anymore. Lucky, I think, is probably the thing to call you. All right, so Mel, that was your bonus action, your action, some awesome dialogue. I think that brings us to Hoban. It's your turn.
Yes. How many points did I get, Melantha?
Oh, I'm sorry. I do have to roll that. That's my bad. So it's 54 plus 2, correct? Okay.
Correct.
So that is 9 points of healing back.
Nice.
I will stagger to my feet, and my shield of faith is gone.
You have 2 advantages, by the way.
Oh, well, excellent. Thank you, Cyril. Blessings to
Hey,
all.
thank you so much. We're at $1,800, guys. Thank you,
Let's
Heart of
go!
Adventure.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
That's incredible.
Fantastic.
I do look around and remember myself that there is a crook-headed little bastard shepherd running around here, imitating me, and I will stumble towards them just within my reach, and I will use one of those blessed advantages, and I will use my last 2nd level spell slot and inflict wounds.
There we go.
Come on.
Let's do it.
Come on. Big money, no whammies.
All right.
Come on, Portis.
That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Let's go.
Come
This
on,
could be
buddy.
it.
Come on, buddy.
I grab him by the crook again, from the back, and just shake his head for 16 points of necrotic damage and say, "Don't you ever disrespect me, you abomination!"
Describe for us, Portis, how this shepherd dies.
As I hold the crook and I shake him by the head smolders and a scream emits from his mouth, from their mouth. I grab and break the hook off as the neck also severs from the rather carbonated flesh, and the head rolls from the shoulders, and I'm holding this crook that crumbles in my hands, and I shudder.
You look down as this creature lays there and it just starts to crumble into ash. Disintegrates and then blows away in the wind.
And as a bonus action, I'll drink my last healing potion.
All right, heal yourself up. You guys, there's still a problem at hand, and there is a herd of Iusian zombie goats that are running your way. I would like each of you now to tell me, this is kind of like a skill challenge. So pick a skill that you have proficiency in and describe for me how you're going to use that skill to try to get away from this herd of zombie goats, please.
I'm going to use investigation to try and find where Dodie went.
Okay.
So I can get on her and get the fuck out.
All right. Roll an investigation for me.
Oh, fuck me. Please. Ooh, good. That is a, math. 17.
Okay. That's a success. I'll tell you what that means in a second.
Okay.
Portis, how about you?
I'm going to use religion and see if I can spy the most sanctified building for protection to dart into.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a religion check. It's a stretch, but we'll go with it.
That's a natural 20. Hello for 22.
All right.
Nice.
2 successes. All right. How about you, Melantha?
I'm going to use stealth to hide into the closest building. And that is an 18.
Okay. So those are 3 successes. So here's what happens. You look around for Dodie. You do not see your horse anywhere. However, what you do see is you see a building that has some sort of, there's some sort of movement. You look over and you see movement at this building. Portis, you're looking around at these buildings. None of them seem sanctified. None of them are churches of any kind or temples. There's nothing like that in here. It's just homes and shops. You look around and you can see that there's a tavern. And if you look closely, you'll notice that the tavern is boarded up tight with planks that are haphazardly nailed in place. There's a faded sign above it that kind of swings. It says the Brass Mule. You can see blood stains on the front porch, like the steps leading up to it. And you can see that the door is slightly open. And I will say with Melantha, with your success, as you kind of turn, as Portis takes a few steps in that direction, you look over, you can see that there's somebody inside the building as they open the door a little bit farther. And they're like, over here, get out of the streets, get out of the streets.
Okay. Do I still notice that Philiomena is still looking for her horse? If she didn't hear him, or
No, you all heard this. You're all right there together. You all heard it. Yep.
okay.
Yep. The only little thing I want to add is as Philomena runs past the creature, the shadows that crawled up it shoot into her own shadow, and it gets a little darker.
Very cool.
And she keeps running.
All right, so you're all going to run that direction?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, so with these Iusian zombie goats racing into town like it's the what is that, Papillon? What's the place in Spain where they do the running of the bulls? Why can't you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Pampaloma? Why do that doesn't sound right. I'm totally screwing that up. I'm a stupid American who's trying to make her. I did?
Pamplona, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I almost got it. I was one letter off. That's not bad. That's not bad. Anyways, Pampaloma, the bulls and these sheep are coming into the town and just scouring the roads, the street. You race in and the door swings open and the 3 of you pell-mell just kind of fall into this tavern, and you hear the door slam shut behind you, and all these like chairs and tables are being scratched across the floor and piled up in front of the door. And you take a breath and it's quiet, and there's these people standing there looking at you, and they look haggard, and they look like they've seen some serious shit in the last however long they've been holed up in here. You look around and you can see that there's a man standing in front of you. Actually, he's a short man. He's a little gnomish fella, but he looks stout and he looks determined, and he's got a short sword and he's holding it out, and he's kind of shaking a little bit. And he goes, "Who the hell are you? And what are you doing in our town? You ain't with them, are you?"
Not at all. We were just passing through. Really, I don't even know what. There hasn't been word of this anywhere. What happened here?
I can't explain what happened. You guys injured? You look like shit. There's some visitors that came into town. There's 4 of them. We was calling them the shepherds on account of, well, they made all of our sheep real sick. All of them, the whole damn flock. My God, they all died, and then they got back up. And he kind of starts to lower the sword, and then he sees Melantha, and you ain't here to do nothing despicable like, are you? We took you in out of the kindness of our heart, probably saved your lives.
Are you kidding me? We almost died out there. Why? We're just passing through.
It's okay, Tavish. You can put the sword down. I think they're just as scared as we are. And you watch as this woman kind of steps forward, and she's slender, maybe in her 30s. She's got sunburned skin, auburn hair that's pulled back in a bun, kind of messy. She's got this homespun dress on, and she looks at you, and you can see standing behind her are 2 young girls. They look to be twins by the looks of it. They both have red hair as well. And she says, Where'd you come from? How'd you make it up all the way out here?
We just came from Crockport. It's not too far away.
Now, just not give away too much information till everybody gets to know each other.
Right. Sorry.
This is my sister Harley, and this is my auntie. My name is Hobbin. We were going to come down here looking to set up business, but it looks like things aren't. They're not going too well for y'all.
Yeah, you didn't pick a very good time to come a knocking around here. Crimson Brook has seen better days. Ain't that right, Tavish? You look around and you can see that there are a handful of individuals in here. In addition to the gnomish fellow who she's referring to as Tavish, you see this woman, her 2, it looks like her 2 daughters standing kind of behind her. They're sort of like peeking out. They look extremely scared. There's a handful of townsfolk that are scattered around this saloon. And you know, it's like a standard kind of saloon in a Western sort of vibe. It smells like sour ale, sweat, smells like fear. You can see that there's some old elderly men and women. Their faces are drawn tight with worry. There's a couple of younger folks that seem to be nursing bruises and wounds of different types. And most of them are quiet, you know, other than this gnomish fella, Tavis, and this woman. She says, well, I wish I could say I was pleased to meet you, but, well, times are strange. My name's Mara Fleming. These are my girls, Ivy and Lark. And we've been stuck in here for nigh upon 3 days now, and resources are dwindling, and we're scared. We're real scared about what's happening out there. We sent a couple folk out to maybe seek some help, but that was 3 days ago, and well, I don't know. We ain't heard nothing, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the townsfolk that didn't make it in here when it all went down, I'm pretty sure they're dead. Ah, shucks.
Did you have a worshiper of Hieronius go by chance?
Well, a lot of us worship various gods, but yeah, Hieronius is one of them. Why? Why are you inquiring about that? You think Hieronius is going to save us? I doubt it.
No, I'm not a religious woman myself, but we came across a body on our way. We thought they might have washed up ashore or something, got injured, fell in and just drifted over here. Lots of people end up that fate. But
folk in the room just start kind of looking at each other. And that's when you notice, Philomena, that Mara, the woman that's talking to you, she has this delicate silver band on one of her fingers with a small emerald stone in it.
fucking hell. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything right now, but she definitely clocked it.
What'd they look like?
It was hard to tell really if it had been a little bit.
You hear a voice from in the back, an individual that you haven't seen yet, and he says, "Don't be jumping to no conclusions, Mara. You don't know it was one of us, one of ours." Yeah, you're right, Sheriff. It could have been anybody, I suppose, but you look back there now, and you can see, just real quick, Portis, you can see that there's a man laying on a like a bench, and he seems to be severely wounded because he didn't get up at all, and that's where the voice came from. Go ahead.
I'm just kind of wondering. You said there was 4 people that came through here. Did they leave? Because there was one crook-headed, ugly son of a gun out there, but you don't have to worry about that one anymore.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. Some of the folks started calling them shepherds just because they've been hanging out with all them monstrous sheep and goats. But
so you're saying that there's 4 with the crook hook on their head?
we ain't got a good look at them, but I'll tell you what, every dusk and every dawn, you can see them standing up on the hill overlooking town. And we just assumed they were responsible for what happened. Like I said, our flocks went feral, then they got sick and died, and then they just got back up.
So they're saying there might be 3 more of them.
It's weird though. They ain't come into town. They haven't visited in town. They haven't confronted us directly, but maybe that's because we didn't pose as much of a threat as y'all did. You look like right adventuring types.
Well, we learned how to defend ourselves if we were going to travel. If we're going to leave, it's dangerous out here, especially given these times. I imagine if there were a couple others, you guys didn't put up much of a fight, they might have gone on to other towns.
I don't know what it is. Well. I don't know why they're here in Crimson Brook or what they want with us, but they've been here for 3 days, is it now? God. You can almost hear the stomachs grumbling with hunger in the group.
Look, this is all sad story and everything, but we really should be going. We have to be somewhere. We can't stick around.
But you're just gonna leave after we done saved your lives, huh?
Well, I mean, we took care of one of the problems at least. We can rest here at least a few hours. We got some wounds we can nurse.
If we could get out of here, maybe we could send some help. Is there anything nearby that might be able to offer some reinforcements? Say a church or a garrison of some kind. Well,
wasn't there a town further down?
There is Crockport back up the way.
It's true.
But, there's this Gull Keep. I don't know about what do you all know about Gull Keep?
Gull Keep. Gull Keep's just ruins of an old lighthouse. There ain't nothing there that can help us.
Yeah. Well, no sense in going there for any of us, I guess.
No. Well, we lost our rides anyway, so it was going to take a while for us to get anywhere. So, And you know, well, like I said, we have somewhere to be, and now that we've lost our horses, it's gonna take us longer to get there. So,
Auntie, you're not suggesting we go out tonight, though. It's the middle of the night. Well, it's getting to be night anyway. The sun was setting out there, and then it got dark, and it got hard enough to see.
Traveling in the dark with all those creatures running around. I don't know about that.
I'm not sure we could get out the door.
no, I'm saying we stay and we rest up, but we don't need to be, you know, saving people that we don't really know. We don't need to be getting into other towns' businesses.
I look back at the people and say, she don't mean you.
Y'all can get right back out the door then if you're gonna be like that. We just saved your asses as far as I can tell.
We are really appreciative.
Very much.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it.
I don't
Look,
know how much help that we can be.
We need to do this on our own. We ain't gonna be able to survive fighting against this thing if we ain't got your help.
The thing being the shepherd, that one's gone.
Nah,
We took care of that.
there's something worse than that. There's something living over in the ruins. Something that stinks mighty bad. You smell that stench when you enter town, yeah. That's what it is.
Well, what ruins are you talking about?
Just
You're not
down the
talking about
road a bit, there's I don't know, something took up residence in one of the torn down buildings. That's what I'm saying.
We could probably help with that.
Mel kind of sighs and, you know, like crosses her arms. Like, well, I guess I'm outvoted, so whatever.
One of the young girls pulls on the sleeve of her mom's dress. Are they going to help us, Mommy? Are they going to help us fight the bad man? I don't know, dear. Just hush yourself and go sit over there by the sheriff. See how he's doing. She kind of, oh, Ma. She kind of goes off with her sister, Ivy and Lark.
If we're going to do this, maybe we can sit down and just catch our breath for an hour or so. Maybe say some prayers to Heronius or Ouija or whoever you got.
You say whatever prayers you think you need to, son, but I say in the morning, we take any able bodies we can gather here and we go out and we put an end to that foul beast. I gotta look at it. I'm the only one that's seen the damn thing. It resembles some sort of a toad, some sort of a massive toad-like creature with rows of sharp teeth and spikes protruding from the skin. But I'll tell you what, we can take that thing down. Maybe them shepherds, the ones watching us, will move on. They ain't come into town to give us any problems other than just sort of putting a siege upon us with this beast.
If y'all could maybe help us recover our mounts, or if you have any left around here, when we get ready to leave, maybe that would be some sort of exchange. If we hang out till morning, help you get over there to them ruins and clear them out.
Yeah, we'll help you find them steeds. I'll tell you what, though. Odds them being alive out there, well, they ain't good, but you help us with this toad beast. We'll send you on your way.
I whip around to Melantha. Auntie, can we please do this? Can we just help him, please?
Please, pretty please.
If they give us horses after we help them, graciously help them, I guess that's payment enough.
You watch as the sheriff pulls himself up from the bench, and you can see that he's got a Callinston Ranger badge on. As he kind of hobbles over, he's got a massive wound on his neck. And he says, "We wouldn't be asking for your help if we didn't need it." He comes over, he says, "The name's Sheriff Cole Barrett. Crimson Brook Law. Been here most of my goddamn life. I ain't never seen anything like this. We lost a lot of good people. A lot of stock. Shit. If we can make it out of this alive, I reckon most of these people here are gonna have to leave this place. There ain't nothing here no more for us. But we gotta get out of here first, and if you can help us take down that son of a bitch, demon toad or whatever the fuck, we'll make sure you got what you need.
I have
Get
a
on your way.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
There aren't many of you all here, and I know that we took down the shepherd, but what's preventing you all from just leaving now?
Getting killed and such.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah. No, that sounds about right.
Sheriff, I recognize you have a badge there. Is there no, like, resource behind it that could also help with this problem y'all got here?
That's why we sent some runners out. Myra's husband, Eugene, and the others, hoping they could make it somewhere. Find some rangers, maybe. They come by here every couple of weeks, to check in and, bring news of what's going on around here. But could be tomorrow, could be 2 weeks from now. It's hard to say. We gotta rely on ourselves here. And I'll tell you what'd you say her name was?
My sister?
No.
Marley?
No, I'm looking at you.
Auntie.
Oh,
No, he's looking at you, Portis. What'd you say your name was?
Oh, I'm sorry, my name's Hobbin.
He reaches out his hand to shake yours. Name's Cole. I might be the sheriff here, but I'm just another man trying to survive and keep these good people alive. We'd be much obliged if you'd help us out on this one.
I think the obligation's ours, considering you let us in off the street when that herd of rabid sheep was coming down the hill, heading into your town. And I reckon if you're able to help us once this is all taken care of, right, Auntie? You said it was okay now?
it's fine.
Well, then it's settled. You can take your space over there. Get yourself some rest. We got some bandages and such.
I'm gonna lean into the sheriff, not chef, goodness, and just kind of whisper, please don't mind Auntie. Since our mom, her sister died, she's been a bit prickly. I don't think she does too well under the stress of situations like this.
She's got us to worry about now, too.
He kind of nods, and I'm gonna ask Melantha. I'm gonna ask you to give me a deception check.
Okay.
Can it be with advantage, having had that kind of story put in place?
It's based on the looks of her disguise,
Okay.
and not as much on the story.
That's fair.
He has no reason to doubt your story at all.
Okay. I'm gonna use advantage since my this is not very well.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay, so first one is a 4, so yeah, that's a no.
Oh.
7.
Oh no.
He just kind of nods, and as you say that last little bit about the family trauma and stuff, he just kind of nods, and let me just see something here. Yeah. I would say, Portis, both you and Philomena kind of sense like a little brow raise on the sheriff as he nods and says, let's all get some rest, and we'll posse up in the morning and go take care of that demon, and hopefully that'll do it. I got it. And then one of the elderly women come up and sort of like help him as he's sort of like limping across the room back to his spot. And Tavish, the gnomish guy, he comes over and says, "Well, look, I do have one thing we do have here in the tavern. We may not have a ton of food left, but I'll be damned if I don't have some spirits. If you're looking for a little nip." And he kind of looks around and he pulls out a bottle that doesn't have a cork in it, and he takes his shirt and he wipes the top of the bottle off and he hands it to Philomena. And that, my friends, is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh no!
I don't know what that means, but this session is over. This is done. We're done. Woo!
Oh no!
We survived.
We made it to $1,800, and yeah,
you.
respects to
Oh my
Grukka,
God.
respect to all of our friends in the chat for being so generous with the donations and helping us get through that crazy random encounter. Thank you, Vamp, for throwing that random encounter into the mix.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just going to throw this out there, guys. This is not the last time we're going to see these characters and these players, because there's obviously more story to tell, but I do like the idea that we have sort of come to some element of a cliffhanger that also involves a little bit of a moment for the heroes to make a decision to maybe do something to help these people after all of the terrible things that have happened. Whether or not they go through with it and how it all plays out, we don't know. But they have sort of come to a decision, even though Mel is dragging her feet the whole time.
It's like literally like throwing a fit.
Yeah.
Auntie, please.
Yeah.
Good defense is a good offense.
Yeah, but yes, we will come back to this story. Don't worry about that. This is too good to put an end on this one. So, whew, you guys, thank you so much.
Oh my
Thank you
God.
so much. What a
Thank
great,
you so much.
what a great arc. I had no idea going into this what it was going to be like, but I knew I wanted to do something sort of Western vibed. And you guys crushed it. You guys leaned into it and did an awesome job of playing despicable characters that people could still kind of like, which is not easy to do. And you did it. So thank you for that. And also to ScottishJeff as well, who played Grukka like a perfect, conflicted outlaw. And thanks to the chat again for all of the support. There are going to be a bunch more games going on through the week. This fundraiser is not over yet, so you can stay tuned for more coming from our friends at Folk and Myth and Phoenix Wacky. Thank you all for supporting this big effort. We are $700 away from hitting our goal, and like I said earlier, we're not afraid to bump the goal up if we can. So let's crush that goal and let's see what happens next. Let's go around the virtual tabletop. I'd love for my players here to remind us who they are, what they have going on. Anything you want to say, thoughts on what happened, hypotheses on what might happen next, anything you want, please go right ahead. And let's start with Ty this time. Dungeon Mr. Ty. Thank you so much, Ty, for being here. I love playing with you.
Yeah, I really enjoy being here, and I always am happy to participate. My castmates have been outstanding. It's been so awesome to play with you all, and I can't wait to do that some more in this arc and in others. I am thinking I really like the obligation I have to Melantha now. Portis like, okay, on the shit list now. Melantha has saved my life, and now I am obligated to serve. That's an interesting twist. It's better to be dead in all the ways that could have happened. This is as the story was going on, I was like, I wasn't thinking it was going to end here on time. I was just like, and then what? And then what?
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the sweet spot for these games. Speaking of games, I am the founder and owner of Adventure Sling Productions, which is the creator of New of Arden, which I am hoping to have out before Christmas.
Ooh.
So it is a constant grind on the process. I am also very close to, if for anyone who might have been listening or would like to listen to the Chronicles of Nephis, which is a podcast audio drama set in New of Arden, I am very close to releasing the end of the first arc. This is a very intense episode. I'm super excited to put it out there. I'm putting a lot of effort into the production. So check that out. That will be out hopefully this week. And
that's awesome.
Other than that, yeah, there's some stuff coming up towards the end of the month that I will be able to talk about when the socials release on that, with Folk and Myth. So I'll just say that. And otherwise, you can find me at adventuresling.com, and would love to hear from everyone. So keep in touch.
Thank you, Ty. I really, really enjoy playing with you. I can't wait to play more New Varden and get you guys back to this table in the near future to play some more of this Outlaws game. This is just too much fun. Let's move it on over to Rachel.
Hi. Oh my gosh. This has been such a roller coaster, and it's been so fun to be a part of. Thank you so much. Thank you, the players as well, for just making the characters that you did and playing them the way that you did. Just the dynamics are beautiful. Jeff, I fucking miss you. This has been an absolute blast and a dream to be a part of. I love Philiomena, and I cannot wait to see where the story takes us. Because Philiomena has to tell a mother that her husband is dead and that she'll be able to raise her kids on her own and give her the ring, because she's not going to leave without doing that, because she can't. She simply can't. Be as a girl raised by her solo mother. So that's going to be fun. Whenever we get to that, I wrote it down so I won't forget. There's so many things that I'm thinking about in regards to the story that I'm so excited to play out. Of like, is Magnus Crane the toad? Is he a toad? I don't think he's the toad, but is he the toad?
He's the pointy-teethed toad.
Pointy-teethed toad. No, he definitely isn't, but it might be some sort of guardian of his. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to have to make decisions. But yeah, my name is Rachel, or also Ktyria, and you can find me as Ktyria on the Ktyria Discord. If you want to message me about anything, I'm more than down to listen and chat. And that's it. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for playing with us. Yeah, you're so much fun to play with. A lot of great energy, great note taker, and just an all around great person. So you always will have a spot at our table here at Guild Superior for sure. You are you're one of us, and we are happy to have you. Let's jump over to Coco next. Coco.
Hi everybody. Like what Rachel said, holy crap! This was everybody, the game, characters, people I got to play with. Yes, Jeff, we freaking missed you this session. Everybody was so amazing. Like, thank you to Dave for putting this together, bringing us together. Thank you to everybody in chat who supported us as well through all of these sessions. It was amazing. Everybody was amazing. I am so excited to come back and now see the new dynamics between Mel and Portis. It's going to be interesting now that I have my own little servant.
Dominated.
I mean, who knows? She might, spare him if he, serves her.
If he's a good boy.
If he is a good boy, exactly.
Wow.
Do what your auntie tells you.
Okay,
yeah, that's right.
Lines and veils.
Yeah, right. Aruga, aruga.
I knew when you said that you were out of the picture, I was like, I'm going to save him and I'm going to make him serve me. I knew exactly the steps I was going to make to do that.
That's so fun.
Such a mastermind.
I'm gonna get them in the next. That's crazy.
No. I was like, please don't help him. Please don't help him. Let me do it.
He's mine.
Yes.
That's awesome. So good.
So happy to be here again. Thank you for everybody for donating. Really appreciate it for a good cause. I can't wait to be back. And the next time you can catch me will be on Lore Gazumba's channel on Saturday. We'll be doing like a late afternoon game. We will be welcoming a new member to the Bone Baddies, so come and check that out if you're able to. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. She adds a whole new personality to the group, and it's going to be so much fun. If you happened to watch the Session 0 yesterday, it was wild. I cannot wait.
Nice. That's great. Well, we're happy that you were able to spend some time with us again. And again, as I said before, you always have a place at our table. And I'm excited I can't wait to I want to just keep going with this, but we will come back. There will be a little bit of a break, but we're going to come back to this. I've got some plans for some fun things in the Greyhawk sphere coming up for 2025. So I can't believe it, but Thank you so much, Coco, for playing with us. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
I want to quickly draw folks' attention to our upcoming games. On Thursday, I'm going to be running a game, a pirate board game for a bunch of people that I'm really excited about. April, Alex, TJ, Brianna, and Alan. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be really wild too, because these people are they're like you guys, just so creative. They can take things in a variety of different directions. So I'm very stoked to see how that all plays out. It's going to be really fun. So that's Thursday. And then on Saturday, we will be back in the morning on Saturday with Tales from the Whisperwood, session 2 with GM Shiv behind the screen, working some magic. And we've got Flea Monkey, Ian, myself, and Tony Shaw in that game. Absolutely wonderful role play as well. Just, I feel so blessed to be surrounded by such creative people. It's just really a dream come true to be able to play games and create this weird and wacky narrative with so many different people. It's great. It's exactly what I need. And then finally, let's see, what else do we have? Oh yes. Let's go back to Saturday afternoon. We're going back to Tales from the Loop, another fantastic game. If you guys haven't seen any of the previous sessions, please, I'm going to find our, let me find my YouTube link here. You guys go to our YouTube and check this out, because it has been absolutely fantastic. Do we have where's my YouTube link? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Go check out our YouTube. We've got everything archived over there, but this game has been fantastic. So anyways, we got a lot coming up. And then on the 10th, we will be giving away a bunch of stuff, you guys. There's custom painted minis. There is custom artwork. There are hard copy books from like Pirate Board, Tales from the Loop, and others. There's a Blades in the Dark book that's up for the giveaway. A bunch of stuff that I can't remember. And then there's a bunch of digital stuff that I can't remember, but there's a lot of stuff. Every $5 that you've donated so far gives you a chance to win. So if you donated $10, you got 2 chances to win, and you see how that works. It's math stuff. So keep on, if you can, keep on helping spread the word about this organization, this fundraiser. Thank you all for being part of it, you guys. And I think this is where we're going to sign off. I'm going to find us someone to raid. So stick around for just another minute or two while we close things down and find our raid target. Thank you all. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Love you guys.